Good morning, and thank you very much for coming to Toronto Police Headquarters. Today, I'd like to introduce to you Detective Leslie Dunkley of Homicide, who will update us on the homicide of number 36, 2015, the homicide of Russell Sahadeo.
Good morning. Thank you for coming today. I've called this press conference today to, on behalf of the family who wanted to address the media today, and also to update you on the investigation to the death of Russell Sahadeo. I'm the lead investigator in this case, and I just want to provide you with a background in terms of what happened in this incident. So this incident occurred on September the 6th at approximately 12:22 a.m. in the morning, when police received multiple 911 calls regarding a stabbing that occurred at an area they call Noble Park. This is a park situated in a residential neighborhood in the Jane and Scarlett Road area. Upon arrival, police located Russell laying on the ground suffering from obvious signs of trauma. Witnesses to the incident were providing him with first aid treatment. He was conscious at that time. Russell was immediately rushed to the hospital by EMS, and he later succumbed to his injuries. Witnesses provided a detailed description of the suspects involved in this incident or responsible for this incident, who were last seen leaving the area in a late model four-door sedan, eastbound on towards Jane Street. The homicide squad was called in, and we took over the investigation. As a result of our investigation, we've identified two suspects in this case, one of which has been apprehended, and there's still one party outstanding. Suspect number one, his name is Marcus Richard Lee. He's 21 years old, of Toronto, and he was apprehended or turned himself into a 12 division on 3 days after this incident. The second party involved in this occurrence is a gentleman by the name of Tommy Ngo. He's 20 years old, and he also goes by the name of Ton Kwok Hong Ngo, and he's also of Toronto. Both these suspects were not known to the victim. Okay, my message to Tommy Ngo is to do the right thing and turn yourself in, get a lawyer, and turn yourself into police. This is not going to go away, and we won't stop looking for you. Okay, a family member of Russell has attended here today, and he's going to address the media. And then I'll answer any questions that you may
have. Good morning. I'm the uncle of Russell. Russell was a kind, gentle, loving person, a beloved nephew, beloved son, beloved brother, beloved cousin, and there's really nothing that can bring him back. There's nothing that can heal the profound grief that the family is currently experiencing. In fact, it's the very reason why I'm standing here by myself. Russell's parents are absolutely grief-stricken, distraught naturally at the loss of their 23-year-old son. There's nothing that can heal that, and I just ask that this suspect do the right thing, as Detective Dunkley mentioned, and turn himself in. If you know of him or may have information that can lead authorities to his whereabouts, I plead and beg that you come forward and provide any information that you may have to police. And at the very least, again, there's nothing that can bring Russell back. There's nothing that can heal the grief that we're currently experiencing. And at the very least, I just ask that the suspects are brought to justice and they're held accountable for their actions. Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit more about your nephew? What sort of stuff did he like? Was he working? Was he studying?
Yeah,
what would the future hold?
Russell was enrolled in college. He was waiting for his classes to start, so currently he was not in class but enrolled in school. As a result, he was working part-time here and there when he was able to fit it in. Russell was a typical 23-year-old male. He loved cars. He loved sports. He loved his friends, he loved his family, and he just loved life in general. He was a good boy. Yeah.
Can you, I know that his girlfriend was with him when he was approached by these suspects in the park. Can you tell us a little bit about how she's coping with all of this?
To be perfectly honest with you, I have no idea. I don't know her. It was a fairly new relationship. That's part of the ongoing police investigation, and I really have no idea. I don't know.
Had Russell ever been in trouble at all with the law or anything like that?
Never. He's never been in trouble. Never been in trouble. As I said, he was a good boy. He always stayed close to home. The places where he hung out, all his friends were local. We never had any issues with him. He's always been very responsible, respectable. It's a loving boy.
You said he was in school in college?
Correct.
Sorry, you may have said this and I missed it. I apologize if I did, but what was he majoring in? What was he studying?
Business administration. Yeah.
But what year was he in?
He was about to start, so it would have been his first year.
sorry.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about his family. You said that he's a brother. Do you have brothers, sisters?
He has one sister,
Older, younger?
older.
Older sister. And you, just given that he was such a good kid, he wasn't involved in the type of stuff that these two guys were allegedly
Absolutely
involved in?
not. No, absolutely not. It was a long weekend, summer weather, literally down the street from his residence, doing what typical 23-year-old kids do.
So it must have come, obviously, as quite a shock to get that call.
That's an understatement.
And I mean, you're here today pleading for information about the second suspect to come forward.
Yes.
What was the family, your reaction when the first suspect turned himself in?
Well, naturally, you feel relieved, but I mean, these two suspects committed a terrible, terrible crime, and the fact that one is still at large is unsettling. The longer he's out there, the longer he presents a threat to the public.
How did you find out this happened?
I found out that morning when one of the detectives had arrived at Russell's house. The mother had called me, and I had no idea what was happening, but she asked me to come to her home, and I did, and I found out that way.
Have they lived in that area for quite a long time?
Over 20 years,
So he grew up there.
yes.
Can you talk a bit about the support network that the family has right now as they're going through this?
Yeah, well, I mean, naturally we have support from within our own family, our friends. We've been in touch with Toronto Police Victim Services. The wheels are in motion as far as counseling is concerned and what have you. Again, there's nothing that can heal the immense level of grief, but we're doing what we can to carry on.
This might be a question more for police, but any idea how these suspects met up at all in the park?
So I would say it's a chance meeting. Russell was in the park with his friends, and the two suspects happened to be, they actually arrived afterwards and walked through their location where they were.
So, do you please have any idea what caused this altercation? There was some kind of argument or something, is that right? And then it escalated?
As far as the motive for this, we're still looking into that. We have several accounts from the witnesses that were there.
What did they say?
Well, I'm not going to discuss that. That's a matter of evidence. But there was an argument between Russell, the group, and these two individuals. And in fact, our suspects left and returned back to the area.
Before the stabbing?
I'm sorry?
Before the stabbing?
Before the stabbing, yes.
Can I just get clarity on something? The news release says that Tommy Legault is 20 years old. You said 21. Is he 21 or 20?
I think I said Marcus Lee was 21.
Right.
I said 20. Does it really say 20?
Yeah, the news release is 20.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry, he's 21?
Marcus is
Sorry,
21.
Marcus is 21, sorry.
I'm looking at an image of the park there. Can you give us an idea whereabouts this took place? Was it along the tree line on the perimeter, or more in the open space in the middle, or?
So it was closer to Sandcliffe Road. There's a grassy area just to the west of Sandcliffe Road. Sorry, I don't know if this is going to keep rotating, but in the grassy area just to the west of Sandcliffe Road.
How many friends were with him at the time, the victim?
There was approximately 4.
Including him? Or no,
Not including him,
So
yes.
he's with 4 friends?
That's right.
Can you tell us how, you said that the suspects left and then came back. How long were they gone for before returning?
As far as when the altercation took place, about 5 minutes.
So about 5 minutes later, they returned, and do you believe they returned intent on murder?
That is, well, I don't know what was in their mind at the time, but obviously there was an altercation prior, and they returned. They said they were coming back, so,
Was there
and
a
they did.
weapon used in the altercation prior? Was it
No,
a physical
no,
altercation?
it was a verbal argument prior to. There was no physical contact prior to them leaving.
And then just give us an idea when they returned. Was it immediately Russell was killed, or was there a physical altercation that escalated?
There was a physical altercation that escalated.
Is it believed that they may have left to get a weapon? Is that?
We're still looking into that.
Are there gang affiliations here with these 2 suspects?
Not to our knowledge, no.
Was there a robbery that took place? Anything taken?
We're still looking into that.
Were the 2 suspects, are the 2 suspects previously known to police?
They're known to us. That's all I could say at this point.
Do you believe that the suspect that is now under arrest knows the whereabouts of the second suspect?
I mean, it's hard to say. He's been in custody since the 10th. So obviously our outstanding suspect has moved around. But prior to that, yeah, of course, I would believe that he has knowledge of where he would have been at the time prior to his arrest.
Describe them as friends?
Definitely, yeah.
And where do these 2 suspects reside in Toronto? They're from
I'll just say they're from Toronto area.
from the same vicinity as where this crime took place?
Oh, the city of Toronto.
Can you be more specific how police knew about the assailants previous? I mean, gang ties, drugs, weapons?
Sir, I don't understand the question.
So the 2 assailants were previously known to police, correct?
That's right.
How?
Well, I mean-
Gangs, drugs, guns, weapons?
Can't disclose that information.
Would you? Yeah, one more. Would you characterize the victim as an innocent victim at this point?
Absolutely. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. That concludes today's conference.